What happened day 3 of the Bassmaster Open on the St. Lawrence River? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Day 3. Well, the tournament just ended yesterday for the Bassmaster Open on the St. Lawrence River. There is going to be no surprise. If there is a Johnston brother in a tournament on the St. Lawrence River, mark it down, they're going to win because Cory won the tournament. Last week in the Invitational, Chris won $85,000. And this week, Cory won $32,000, almost $33,000. Big difference between the Invitationals and the Opens. Now, if you remember, this year we have the Opens and then the top 50 from Division 1 and the top 50 from Division 2 move on to the EQ series, where 10 anglers, the top 10 anglers, out of those 2 divisions competing in 3 tournaments have the opportunity to move into the Elites, which is huge, really huge. And while it wasn't shocking that Cory won, it was shocking on just how absolute amazing the St. Lawrence River is for fishing. The Invitationals last week, the Opens this week. There are a lot of anglers out there fishing, and to put up 3 days of almost 25 pounds every day is absolutely ridiculous. If the St. Lawrence River isn't on your bucket list of places to go smallmouth fishing, then you're not a smallmouth fan. That's just how it is, because the fishing is outrageous. And I have a lot of notes that I'm going to probably read. I first need to say thank you to Bass for putting the bottom third, it would be over here, now look at my little screen, that showed who the angler was. I really appreciated that, because there are many times when an angler doesn't have his jersey on and you do not know who you're watching. And I appreciated that not only did they do that, but I really liked Ronnie and Such doing the commentary. Now, at the same time, I only got to watch on Bassmaster.com from 9 to 10, because after 10 on Bassmaster.com, it was just a logo spinning around. Now, and I should mention I was doing other work. A lot of times I have 2 screens. I put one screen with Bass, MLF, whatever tournament's on, and then work on the other screen. But at 10 o'clock or 10-ish, it seemed like all I saw was a logo, a Bass logo with a generic background. I would have liked to seen the whole day. I don't know if they had technical difficulties or maybe it was on Roku or someplace else, but on Bassmaster.com, it wasn't there for me. And I want to just make it a big point. I did appreciate the commentators. However, between 9 and 10, I think they had 4 or 5 commercial breaks. And I know there's only 10 anglers that they're following, but that's too many commercial breaks, especially when you're watching online. And when they went to day 1 leader, Ryan Lockneat, when he was live and outside and doing his thing, his thoughts and how he articulated what he was doing was awesome. I don't know Ryan, but I'm a big fan now. And there were 140 plus anglers competing in this St. Lawrence River tournament. But again, if you don't think that Cory and Chris Johnston are 2 of the best smallmouth bass fishermen in this planet, in this solar system, everywhere, you are completely wrong, unfortunately. Cory won this tournament and he's just unbelievable. He really is just unbelievable. But the top 10 finishers for the St. Lawrence River were Cory Johnston, Zach Gutremont, Eric Lysak, Lucas Murphy, Ryan Lockneat, Kyle Austin, Caleb Hudson, Michael Neal, Kyoto Fujita, and John Hunter Jr. Now, who are some of the names that are in the mix to move on to the EQ series? Well, Michael Neal is in the top 10. He's a BPT angler. You have River Lee, Trey Swindle, Gray Buck, Adam Rasmussen, Ryan Salzman, Laker Howell, Brenton Coulter, and Chad Pipkins is in 50th place. I think the big storyline is, the biggest storyline is who of those top 50 are going to move into the EQ series. But Michael Neal competing in the EQs or the Opens and qualifying what I think is in the top 10, maybe top 7, is really amazing, because I really think Michael Neal is one of the best anglers out there. I think he is absolutely ridiculous on the BPT. Now he's fished on the Opens and had a absolutely ridiculous year too. And the Opens are no cakewalk. This is some of the best anglers there are out there. Now I will say, I was a little disappointed to just read today that the winner only got $34,000 or $32,000. And that's a lot of money. But when you look at Bass's second tier is the Opens and the EQs, and winning $32,000 versus the BPT and the Invitationals and getting $85,000. And if you were running a Phoenix boat, you get an extra 30 grand. So you could win $115,000. I think there's a big discrepancy on the paying. Now I should say, and I could be wrong, that probably what will happen is the EQs or the Opens are a different payout structure than the EQs. But I'm not sure because I haven't looked it up. I don't remember it from the beginning of the year, and right now I'm confused. But I'm looking forward to covering the EQ series a lot better than I have the Opens because I've watched a little bit of the Opens this year, but not a lot. But when it gets EQ series time and we have those top 100 anglers and they're competing for those 10 spots, it should be 3 amazing tournaments. And I can't wait for the fall to come and to cover them as good as possible. Do you want to see me cover the EQs? Comment below and tell me what you think. Do you agree with me that Cory and Chris Johnston are the 2 best smallmouth anglers that we have out there? Comment below and tell me what you think. I need to just make sure I say thank you to y'all. Thank you to everyone who participates, who's interactive, who's just part of this channel. This channel is about us, about bringing you the news and stories within the community. It's not about trashing someone. It's about doing the right thing. And that's what I strive to do. But I want to say thank you. But if you're one of those 65% of the people who watch the channel and you're not a subscriber, do me a favor and click that button. And welcome to the team. And thank you. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.